Lads, we got some news here. We got some news on this Sunday morning. Right. Dave Allen. Alright, we all know Dave Allen. Alright, we've all spoke about him, me and a few of the other guys. We've all had our 2 cents on him over the last few years. We've said this, that and the other. Obviously, we remember he was meant to fight Christian Hammer on the Usyk Chisora card. That got pulled. And then we were meant to get the Don, Don Juan himself. We were meant to get the G, Christopher Lovejoy. That fell through. I mean, that was funny. That fell through. Then there was talk of Dave Allen being on next week's card, I think. I think it was next week's card anyway. With, Babich, Ben, and what's the guy's name, Wadley. Well, it looks like it ain't going to happen. Dave Allen's released a statement here on Instagram announcing his retirement from boxing. Now, I'm going to read this verbatim, alright? I'm going to read this verbatim, but you know me, I can read a bit quick sometimes, so bear with me. I'm going to quote it here. This is a quote from Dave Allen. Hello, everyone. I hope I would never have to write this message, never mind at 28, with my last fight being when I was 27 years old. But I made the decision a few nights ago with my sister that I would no longer, from this moment on, be a professional fighter. Boxing has given me a life I could never have dreamed of. I had never been out of Doncaster, but for school trips. I started boxing and it's taken me around the world, from New York City to work in men's clubs all over the UK. As well as seeing the world, it has taken me from the kid brought up in a council house with a yellow door wearing Umbro to a man who still wears Umbro but owns a few houses, and who has given myself a chance to give my future kids a life I could only have dreamed of, on top of, and more importantly, I have made the greatest friends, some of them being my childhood heroes. The list of thanks would be far too long, but I hope everyone knows who they are and know they are appreciated. Lastly, the reason for me calling it a day is simply this. I don't want to get punched anymore. Long gone are the days of the kid from Donny who just wanted to fight. All I want now is a quiet life with a wife, some kids, healthy, and getting nice and fat. That's it. That is the statement, end quote. I think I done a decent job. Some of he commas in like places where they shouldn't have been. So I was taking into account that, and I was just like, what's he said? He commas like in full stops in places they really shouldn't have been. But anyway, I digress. So Dave Allen calling it a day. Reason is he doesn't want to get punched anymore. I can't blame him, to be fair. He's taken some shellackings over his career. Seriously, like, people look at the Luis Ortiz, say that was bad. People look at the Tony Oka fight was the worst. That was horrific. That's one of the worst beatings I've seen. Alright, and that really did, that summed Dave Allen's career up in a nutshell. That he would just he would take these fights that he otherwise shouldn't have taken, in no physical shape, having done no training. And this is what used to piss people off so much about Dave Allen, is that he would get the chances, right, on some of these Sky shows. He wouldn't turn up in shape, right? He'd either scrape a victory, right, against someone who he should have beaten easily, and maybe then he'd just go off the rails, pack on a hell of a lot of weight in a short space of time, because some of the weight fluctuations he's had have been bizarre, how much weight he's put on so quick. And then he'd take a fight with no training, get an absolute pasting, get a Hail Mary beaten, and then, be like, all right, now it's the new improved Dave Allen, and it'd be the same thing again, right? He obviously took that bad beating against David Price. He's taken some pretty bad beatings, Dave Allen. And like that, he's a year older than me, I think Dave Allen's about 16 months older than me. Now, fair enough, he's done more than I have, but best believe that. He has, a couple of houses. I don't even have, I've got this, but that's not mine. So yeah, Dave Allen's doing a hell of a lot better than me. In terms of what he's saying there, he doesn't want to get hit anymore. I can't blame him. Maybe being in, I'm serious here, maybe being in camp with Alexander Usyk, maybe that showed him just how, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but maybe that showed him just how far off he is in terms of, where he needs to be. Maybe being in camp with Usyk showed him that, hang on, I'm way off. And no matter what I do, I'm going to keep getting these beatings. And maybe he just decided, you know what, I can manage fighters, I can train fighters. Dave Allen, for all his flaws, right, I actually do think that there is a career in broadcasting there. You know, I think in terms of how he analyses a fight, when you hear him, like little snippets of him being a pundit, he's actually quite good. You know, I mean, like, let's think of it like this, right? If you put Dave Allen on Sky, I think he'd be one of the better pundits. You know, there are some pundits out there, there's some broadcasters, some analysts, not thinking of anybody. Yeah, not thinking of anyone specifically, who aren't that good. That's just fair to say. And Dave Allen, I think that he has a career there. In terms of what you're saying about having a wife and kids, I mean, that's my dream. I mean, that's a good dream. That's my dream. The getting fat part, hell no. I ain't get fat. But that's what he wants. Look, he wants to settle down, have a family, and, you know, have kids and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's a good dream. That's a good dream. But in terms of him getting beatings in the ring, get out with all your faculties. Dave Allen has been, his speech has been you've noticed that he's not as clear in terms of his speech. It's not as clairvoyant as it used to be. He's not full blown punchy or anything like that, but you can definitely tell that the speech is deteriorating ever such a little bit. So get out with your faculties, what little you have left, because I'm telling you now, those beatings he took from Ortiz, Yoka, Price, who else did he? He didn't really take much of a beating from Dylan White, to be fair, but to take those kind of beatings, they're gonna take years off your life, years off your career. Best to get out, if you have the houses and you can afford to live comfortably and you have other options, other avenues you can go down, just take your faculties and get out of there, you know. And as I said, Dave Allen I think he's got a career in broadcasting. Personally, I think he's very good. I think that he calls it like he sees it, and I think maybe because him and Eddie Hearn are good buds, by the looks of things, maybe Eddie Hearn will look at doing something like that for Dave Allen. I mean, he's done it for others who, you know, boy. Yeah, so maybe he'll do something like that for Dave Allen, hopefully. In terms of Dave Allen, look, I've given him a lot of stick on this channel, justifiably so. Justifiably, as I've said many times, you know. But if he's retiring, he's retiring. I wish him all the best in whatever he does. We've seen a lot of fighters come out and say they've retired at a young age, only to kind of backtrack on it. I suspect Dave Allen is legit with this statement. I like that, you know. What he wants is, he wants the wife, he wants the kids. I mean, that'd be my dream. So, I mean, what more can you say? Fair play to him. To be fair, fair play to him for what he's done, because you're talking about quite a limited fighter, and he's made big paydays, you know. Big paydays retrospectively, by his standards anyway. So fair play to him. Wish him all the best in whatever he does next, and that is that. So we're going to call it here. Try and keep it. Look, as I said many times, I've had goes at Dave Allen, so has a lot of people, but I think the times I've had goes at him, they've been justifiably. Whereas now, look, he's at the end of his career. He's finished his career apparently. So just say, look, you've done what you needed to do. Sail off into the sunset. Do what you want. Enjoy your life, etc. And commentary or punditry might be a good alternative to go down, as well as managing fighters. I mean, he has that Danny Morel guy, and I'm sure there are other fighters out there he'd probably be looking to keep his eye on. He is promoted, or he's signed with MTK. Well, he was anyway, with a management deal. Who knows, maybe MTK will do something for him as well, I don't know. Anyway, leave it here, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button, of course, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. As always, people, I'll talk to you. #GMansRocks, King of Rip Jeans, all that good stuff. Peace.